Okay, so this is my vlog about my media fast and media immersion that I did for media and cultural studies. So I was a bit strategic in trying to pick the day that I would do my media fast. So I thought I'd do it when I went home instead of being at uni because I thought there'd be less distractions, less people trying to get me out to go and do things. But it kind of backfired because meaning I was at home meant that I couldn't really talk to them even though I was away from them. So it kind of gave me more of an incentive to text them and phone them, and obviously I couldn't, so I was completely not in contact with them, so that kind of backfired a bit. Um, so yeah, I was at home, slept in really late compared to usual, to basically just try and make it a bit easier for myself because I knew it was going to be a bit difficult trying to avoid it. Um, so yeah, slept in really late. As soon as I woke up, it was kind of a bit of a panic because I wanted to check my phone, which I couldn't do. I couldn't even check it for like the time to see what time I'd woken up, which was very strange. Um, but yeah, anyway, got up and then I realised that there was going to be a lot more media than I'd originally kind of anticipated there being. Um, in the sense that just getting breakfast, like all the boxes of like cereal and all the food in the food cupboards were like covered in branding and writing. Obviously, it was really difficult to avoid kind of not looking at but just seeing it. So that was something I wasn't really expecting. So yeah, I had breakfast and I decided that after a while of just sitting there kind of in silence because my parents were at work, that I'd go back to sleep because it was kind of the easiest way to pass time without being bored. Um, so yeah, I went back to bed for quite a while. Um, got up again later and kind of saw mum and dad and just kind of talked a lot, like a lot more than I would normally talk to them if I was at home. Kind of a lot of my time spent just lounging around, watching TV, messing around on my computer, whatever. So yeah, there was a lot more conversation time, which was good, I guess, because media can take you away from actually interacting with people face to face. So yeah, that was good. Um, and then I decided I'd go to the gym because I got pretty bored after a while because kind of was a bit agitated, didn't know what to do with myself. Um, so I went to the gym, which I'd normally go with my iPod plugged in to like get me motivated and whatever. But obviously this wasn't really an option media fast day, so I went without it. My gym's like right across the road from my house, so I kind of thought won't be too much media to try and avoid if I go out of the house. But there are a lot of road signs which I kind of hadn't really realised were there before. So this conscious trying to get away from it kind of made them stand out even more because you're obviously consciously aware that you're trying to avoid it. Um, and then obviously got to the gym and it's in a hotel, so there's loads of writing and stuff and posters everywhere. Again, which I didn't really notice before. Um, and when I walked into the gym, they're playing music, which was quite annoying. Because obviously that's kind of like they're trying to entertain the customers. Um, that was another thing that was really kind of unavoidable. And they have little TV screens on the treadmills and stuff to try and again keep you entertained, which was quite annoying, which I had to turn off. I was a bit worried, kind of working out without any music. I thought I'm gonna get really bored and I'm gonna find it really hard to kind of not get bored and just leave. But I managed to stay longer than usual, which was a surprise for me. I don't know what that was about, but um, so yeah, then I kind of got home and we had a family meal together. No TV. We'd normally kind of just put the TV on in the background, um, and like have conversations over it normally, but it would still be on and kind of attract some of your attention. Whereas because they knew that I couldn't watch it, it stayed off, which left a lot more room for conversation, and like more in-depth conversation than we normally have. So again, there's that kind of like idea of media taking you away from actually socializing with people face to face and not kind of having those half-hearted conversations where you'll be talking to someone but you're texting someone else or checking Facebook or whatever. So I think that kind of highlighted that for me as well. And then the rest of my family kind of went and watched TV after dinner, which obviously couldn't do, which left me kind of not knowing what I was supposed to do with my time. It's kind of trying to think of things to do, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my time. So I decided to have an early night and go back to bed. But it was quite difficult getting to sleep without checking my phone and things because I don't know, I was just agitated that someone might have tried to contact me or I might want to text someone or something. So it was quite hard to get to sleep, especially because I'd gone to bed earlier than usual because I didn't know what to do. I think it made it even harder to get to sleep, which was annoying. But I did wake up kind of like in the middle of the night and just check my phone because I was kind of that interested to see what happened on it. Um, so yeah, then had the media immersion day, which was a lot easier. Got up and had breakfast, watching TV, checking Facebook, doing all sorts of things, and I actually revised on this day because obviously media fast day I couldn't read or write. So I revised using Moodle and like internet based things. So not even just reading and writing, like technologically based revision. So I did quite a lot of that. Again, I went to the gym, but this time I went with my iPod in. And kind of like I was more aware of what I was seeing, so I guess I was looking more on the day of media immersion because the media fast day pointed out to me all the things that I kind of hadn't realised were really there, and then the next day I was looking at them more, like more than I would have if I'd never have done the media fast. And having to write a journal of like all the texts I was receiving and sending and all the Facebook notifications and things like that, just it made me realise like to what extent I text and communicate with people and use media. It's just ridiculous. Like I knew it would be a lot, but I hadn't realised kind of to what extent and the number of texts I sent a day. And it just seemed a bit crazy really, like how dependent we are on it and the amount of times I checked Facebook and there'd be nothing really of any interest to me that was new on my newsfeed. It was just kind of a checking to see if anything had happened, almost like a paranoia of missing out on something, which is a bit ridiculous because I didn't have it for any of the day of media fast and I didn't really care that much, to be honest. So yeah, and there was a lot more TV watching and stuff, which was a bit strange after the media fast day because without having it, there was a lot more kind of thinking time. And it seemed a lot more relaxing just having kind of nothing on around you or anything. And just being able to kind of relax and not have to think about anything that's kind of there. Like you could just sit with your own thoughts. Whereas on the media immersion day, it was back to media and just being bombarded with loads of things. But yeah, I think it was a good experience to kind of do it and see to what extent, just to be aware of it really, not necessarily to change anything, but just to make you aware of the extent to which we use media every single day and how kind of obsessed I am with it. So yeah, I found it really interesting and it was a lot harder than media fast than I thought it would be. And kind of made me realise how difficult it is to get away from even when you're trying to get away from it. And how much kind of I was agitated by wanting to know what was on the phone and what happened and things. So yeah, and we just kind of absorb all this information without even realizing, like the music at the gym or music even in shops when they play music in shops. You kind of go in and you hear it, but you don't really realize that you're kind of taking in that information. And it's just kind of opened my eyes a bit to how much there really is out there. So yeah, that's really my reflection on my media fast and media immersion. But yeah, it was a good experience.